and clips. And remember, citizens, always subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. And $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of hell. Hell. Good evening, everybody. In the pursuit of being on time. I hurried things, sorry. Caught me in the middle of a glass stick. What can I say? So, good Friday, everybody. Hopefully you're having a nice start to your weekend. And all that jazz. For people in and around the Glasgow area, there's a ULEZ protest on tomorrow. A few interesting folks speaking. Guy for the homeless project, the Scotland Homeless Project Scotland, and Piers Corbyn. He's got some interesting stuff to say. And a councillor who had some problems with regards to his attitude towards the lockdown. I need to get up to speed on him, to be honest. I don't know if I'm proud or ashamed that I don't know more about it. Ashamed because it's happened in my backyard and I don't know about it, and proud in the sense that I managed to stay away from it, if that makes any sense. Because these things can get people worked up to the extent where it's just not cricket. It's just not cricket. It's just not positive. So it should be fun tomorrow. There is a wee poll in the Chittity chat. Is there an old versus new media war going on? Now, pretty self-explanatory. What is getting perceived as the cancel culture is this old versus new, and this dynamic happens in so many paradigms it's untrue. So is that are we witnessing some of the fruits of the new media explosion thanks to the internet, and the old guard clambering to maintain some of its clout, some of its authority? What made me think along those lines was like the Alex Jones thing, the Russell Brand thing. I know a place where a lot of people go to when thinking about what's happening with the perception of them being persecuted with the MSN is that, oh my God, they're telling us the secret. They're telling us the secret of life. They're telling us where the city of gold is. Now, logic would dictate that if you were scared of what somebody was talking about, what they were saying, telling people where your city of gold is, your inside leg measurements and stuff, the secrets of the Illuminati, you wouldn't want to publicise them. You wouldn't want to bring them down publicly. You would want to do it as quietly as possible. That didn't happen with Alex Jones. That guy get dragged through a public court. Where a lot of the stuff that he says ended up getting repeated in a court. Now, it wouldn't take Einstein to work out that would happen if the authorities went down that route. which leads me to believe the authorities aren't scared of a lot of the lunacy that this guy's talking about. I was clearing out some old bookmarks and stuff, and I don't know why, but one of my old bookmarks was an Itchy Richie. You remember that guy? Itchy Richie Allen, David Icke's Gimp, still exists. He's doing some sort of radio gig or something, man. Oh my lordy lord. Shit. Lost my train of thought. So, the old versus new media. Hold on, I forgot I've got Spaceballs up here. God, that sounds horrible. Right, the Spaceballs technique didn't work there. Exploration UK, now then, buddy. Now then. So, are we witnessing old versus new media? And what is perceived as being like Alex Jones? Oh, that's what I was talking about. Alex Jones ended up in Itchy Richie's. What was it? Twitter, one of his social medias. I think it might have been Twitter, and he was, and he put out a video of Alex Jones in court saying, "Oh, dirty predator! This never really stops me, making me laugh." And it's Alex Jones getting asked about stuff in the courtroom and all that, and him going on about Epstein and whatnot. And you're like, well, again, right? If people were scared of that stuff getting talked about in a public forum, why are they persecuting you in a public forum? If people are scared about Russell Brand, if the Illuminati's scared about the topics Russell Brand's saying and stuff, why crucify him in the court of public opinion? Publicly? Why do it publicly? Why not have an accident, a drug overdose, fall off a building? You know, because we all know the Illuminati's capable of this. So, if like myself, you don't think that makes sense, that these people are getting persecuted by the Illuminati because of the topics they're touching on, you say to yourself, so why are they getting persecuted? Right, well, they're becoming influencers. How are they becoming influencers? So they're influencing people through the interwebs, which is the new media, and the old media is kicking back. And remember, the old media has existed for an old time. The old media was around in black and white times, that's all I need to say. Right, so they've got ties and people with influence and whatnot, and then boom, the internet explodes, and every Tom, Dick and Harry has a voice. And every Tom, Dick and Harry can influence the influencers. If you don't understand what I mean, look at some of the so-called influencers in the truth movement, if they're still around. I really couldn't even tell you if they're still breathing. Sargon of Mossad, right, and Count Spunkula, not to mention a good host of other independent journalists. That's what they would call themselves, laughably. And all independently went and joined the UKIP with the son of the City of London, Nigel Vadge, Neil and something Hamilton. Forget it. Neil Hamilton. Neil Hamilton was a Conservative MP that was ball deep. Not ball deep. He was taking cash for questions in Parliament. Corrupt. And all these independent influencers were independently all came to the independent individual the decision, I'm not an NPC to join UKIP and start parroting UKIP and stuff. You know, they all independently done that, and they all independently come to the same conclusion, and they all independently, in all the forms of the talking heads that have existed, excuse me, it does exist and will continue to exist. They all talk about the same stuff. From Chunky Mark to Alex Jones, is the UK column still breathing? All these outfits with a different flavour of jobby supper, all talk about the same shit, all the same talking points. None of them come to any independent fucking analysis or anything like that. All singing from the same hymn sheet, all kind of with the same flavour, trying to get your political pendulum to sway over to one side or the other. So there's 2 people voted in the poll, and they seem to think, yeah, there is an old versus new media war on. Russell Brand's a victim, Alex Jones is a victim, and these people will these people, the ones that I've just pointed to, Alex Jones, Russell Brand, who's the rapey guy. I'm only going on shreds of shit that I hear, man. I don't focus on any of this. It's all theatre production. Andrew Tate. What's happening with him? Did he get arrested? And I don't know whether he get charged. But you see, and from my perspective, what I see is the old media kicking back against the new and trying to kick back, trying to make them look bad. I mean, you only need to look around. I was going to say the legacy media there, but that's me getting sucked. That's me been watching too much GB News. The old school media, look around it and see how now that all their radio shows now have video feeds, and everybody's new shindig is the Joe Rogan kind of model. Do you know what I mean? TV stroke radio show, podcast. I mean, my mum's neighbour's dog has got a podcast nowadays. True. Everybody's got a podcast, haven't they? You can't escape it. So that's the format. So the old is trying to copy the new because the new nailed that format, you know. And then, where did I hear this? I'm pretty sure it was BBC advertising on the BBC with one of their old established political correspondents. You know, old and fat. You know, looks like he constantly eating like Jabba the Hutt. For some reason, that gives them an air of authority. Fitted suits, but for some reason, their waist is up there because they're like egg-shaped. And he was like, yes, from the establishing media, with absolutely no spin. You're broadcasting for the BBC, mate. There's fuck all. It doesn't get vetted about 99 fucking million times. You can't fart the wrong fucking accent in the BBC. Old media is losing the plot, mate. Who paying more? We will print that. I wouldn't say they're losing the plot, mate, as in the sense that they're trying to adjust to the new landscape. God knows what the media landscape's going to look like in 5-10 years' time. You only need to use how much the media landscape has changed in the last 5, 10, 15 years with the explosion of the interwebs, the explosion of your smartphones, then the explosion of apps. So what's the media landscape going to look like in the future? We're witnessing right now the old school media trying to still maintain a level of control or editorialship. The Rumble thing is a very good example of how they're now passing new laws and legislation that where anything that gets published, broadcast in the UK technically falls under Ofcom, which they need to adhere to Ofcom's broadcasting rules, so on and so forth. So it's basically the internet getting regulated by Ofcom, which means it is as regulated as the television. Good thing, bad thing? You decide. Number one, can they fucking regulate the internet? Is everybody just going to go VPN'd up and, you know, like, are they trying to stop the dam after the dam's broke? You know, there's no stopping that now. And this is something I'm going to brush up on, because I think it would tell us. I think it would give me, other people, a better idea of what's happening just now if we brush up on how the explosion of the printing press changed the press back in the day. Because it definitely changed the landscape, didn't it? It really, really, really changed the landscape, and some would say we're witnessing exactly the same sort of on an even larger scale, more powerful scale, a quicker scale, the same meteoric changes that society and the world as a whole witnessed with the Gutenberg, wasn't it? Gutenberg press and whatnot. I don't even think I need to ask the question: are we witnessing a similar meteoric change? I think it's very obvious and self-evident how it's changed society. Like, even just the way like young kids are now acting, in the sense that they're acting as if they're constantly getting filmed, because they're constantly getting filmed, and everything in it at any point can go up on the TikToks, and they're watching the TikToks, and everything has to be extreme, everything has to be turned up to 11. You know, you just can. You no longer can you carry a knife. It has to be a zombie knife or whatever they're fucking branding these knives. Fucking Rambo knives, whatever. Mental. Who says a VPN is even private? Well, I mean, I 110% agree with you. I mean, like, what? Like, if people don't know how a VPN works, right? If I see a VPN, it's a middleman. So basically, what you're doing is you're stopping. This is the way I see VPNs. You're stopping certain people gathering your data. And when I say your data, I don't mean they're spying on you to see what fucking your personal info. They just want data to make their algos better. That's what I think. Now, a VPN gathers the exact same data. The exact same data, where you're going, how long you're staying, what you're clicking on, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Your VPN's collecting that. It's just that you're paying them for the privilege, and then they've got that data, which makes their algos better, and people can then go to them for that data. So all a VPN does is allow me to use Pirate Bay, because I've got Virgin. That's all I use a VPN for. See this shit? Oh my god, the Illuminati's spying on me, man. The British government gonna give a flying fuck what you're doing unless you're actually planning on fucking, I don't know. What do you think the British government would spy on you for if they thought you were like some sort of a terrorist or something? And I don't think it's very hard for them to like take 2 seconds out their time, scan my data and go, nah, this guy ain't blowing anybody up anytime soon. So I'm quite happy about that. But along the same lines of we're witnessing the old media versus the new, what, as I'm getting older and making that transfer from being a young pup into being an old man, I know I still look beautiful, but hey ho. A well-known human trait, human condition, human behaviour is becoming more and 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 more obvious to me. And it's been told in many forums, many different ways of telling this story and talking about this human behaviour, which is very natural. It happens in the animal kingdom, it happens in the human kingdom, and that's when the old overtake. The young overtake the old. It's a natural cycle, isn't it? I mean, you can't. All, if not most, gangster films have this exact narrative in them. When you have a kingpin and then it's the young buck that tries to overtake the kingpin. I mean, that's pretty much every gangster film in fucking since they started them, more or less, isn't it? It's got that in it, and it's always that father figure, and the father brings up the younger buck. And then the younger buck thinks his ideas are bigger and better and he can do a bigger and better job than the older dude and makes a play for the power. Now this happens, and I've not used this word in ages, but it's a fractal, isn't it? It happens all over society in many different ways. It's happening in the media right now to a certain extent, and that's away from biological life. That's more like the institution, or the natural, the institution of the press. But can you call the Wild West of the internet and people who call themselves independent journalists press? Tommy Robinson, is he a journalist? Or is he just a lad bouncing about, fucking, hey, wee bit, getting full of coke and fucking finding arseholes or Muslims to fucking point and laugh at? Or is he a real independent journalist? Or is he a podcaster now? I think he's trying to brand himself as a fucking a pod wanker. A podcaster. Here, hold on. I'm going to be a podcaster.
Okay, everybody, now I'm a podcaster. I'd like to welcome on the show a lion.
Well, I'm a podcaster, man. I've done podcasting for ages and I didn't even know it was a podcast. I just thought I was doing live streams on the boob tubes. But that's the old podcasting now. Anywho, I'm going to go fill up my cup before my coffee gets cold. I don't want my coffee to get cold, man. Is that just ain't crack it? Are you looking to make coffee during a podcast? Does Joe Rogan do it? If Joe Rogan does it, it means it's okay to do it on a podcast. I've been reliably informed. Because Joe Rogan is the Mac Daddy of podcasts. Anyway, there we have, right, 6 votes. And somebody thinks the cancel culture isn't a result of old versus new media. It's the, this is a good way of describing it. It's the old media. I mean, I say old media, I mean the old forms of delivery of media, because the organisations above a lot of the larger organisations who own, thus control, a lot of the old forms of media delivery, a lot of them own a lot of the new shit. Facebook, for example, like they bought up WhatsApp and whatnot, and they're very much in cahoots with the CIA, which I don't even think is a secret anymore. I mean, I would love to, and I need to do this one day, but apparently there was an interview with Zuckerberg one point with an American news outfit, and they're walking about the Facebook HQ in Silicon Valley. And the head of the CIA walked by them as they were getting interviewed and just like, oh, hey, ho, hi, and just walked in to his office. So the CIA had office in the Facebag HQ, and it isn't even that far of a reach. I mean, I think most, if not all, people can agree that the CIA and other intelligence agencies gather intelligence. That intelligence is gathered from numerous sources, and the amount of information people offer up on the social medias is unfucking believable. For those folks who have just tuned in, make sure you tune in tomorrow about 2 o'clock, and I'll do a live stream from George Square with the gigabytes and whatnot hold up. And it's Jeremy Corbyn. No, sorry, not Jeremy Corbyn. Piers Corbyn. An ex-councillor Hogg, and a guy that works with the Scotland Homeless Project, McInnes. And they will be doing some speeches and stuff at George Square. So I'll be interested. I'm interested to hear Piers Corbyn, because I've heard wee bits and bobs of him, predominantly on like weather stuff, and I think it was on RT and stuff. I think it was on RT that I seen him. I think they done a few interviews with him, and it was, if my memory serves, and it doesn't at the best of times, I think it was during like sort of a Jeremy Corbyn's peak of popularity or notoriety. One of the two. So is there anybody in the chat that's got a point of view about what's happening in the media with regards to this cancel culture? And no longer do talking heads on the media ever talk about the principle of innocent until proven guilty. That ship is sailed. and I think that is scary. All you do is need enough hairy Marys online making enough noise, swaying enough people's opinion, and this could happen to anybody at any point, especially the way social media, the landscape and how social media works nowadays at the moment. Which the skeptic in me would even go down the lines of it makes me beg the question: has this behaviour been allowed to run rampant? So people would beg or expect or want a solution to some of the fucking atrocious shit people get up to online. And it makes you scratch your head, because you're like, right, they're doing it online, but surely there's principles that already exist in law that they're breaking. Right? There's a fucking law for everything and anything, isn't there? Especially if you get the right lawyer to argue. Fucking bullcrap. So why the police, or why the police were made to feel impotent when it came to trying to use some of these laws on some of the fucking idiots and some of the crap the fucking people do online. Has that been allowed? So, because I'm in a place right now where I'm listening to this internet safety bill and stuff, And I'm saying to myself, right, I've seen the way some people fucking behave online and some of the shit they do, man, and fucking doxing and all the crap that fucking real mental windy licking lunatics get up to online. Fucking, I was speaking to somebody the other day and they were telling me about somebody else fucking trying to kill themselves live online because of some of the shite that goes on in the sewer pit of fucking social media with some of the windy lickers that fucking can't exist in the real world, can't talk to people in the real world, man. They take to fucking licking windies. As an outlet. So what I was getting at there is I'm in a position where have I been manipulated where I'm willing to accept some fucking crazy or I would be willing to accept or like something along the lines of internet laws to stop people being able to just go around like the Wild West and anonymously harass people. Right, so it's mental. Because you would like to think that government isn't deep state Illuminati and stuff, but then you see some of the overreach, which is genuinely, which I think is unarguably happening, where the British government, no, in fact, sorry, that's wrong. That's part of the spin of this Russell Brand story, and I nearly get caught propagating it myself. The Russell, all right, Soph, right, Soph, you're no longer innocent until proven guilty. You just need a wee cabal of arseholes online, and you can create one fucking OCD windy licking bastard can create the appearance of a cabal online because they're OCDs, so they're sitting there opening up fucking 40 million accounts and fucking bombarding people and and people have different levels of when they would crack. Like, say for example, a lot of people take to the fucking tinterwebs for fucking company. You know what I mean? It's like it's better than just fucking sitting on your tod. So a lot of people do that. Then they do that, and then you get windy licking arseholes who think it's funny just to like boom, 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 and it's like Chinese water torture. And it could be just one windy licking motherfucking mentally ill fucking junkie bastard, just constantly like boom. You stink. 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 And you're like, right, well, okay. It's the internet. I know you can't smell me, and maybe I do stink a bit, but it's just that constant bum 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 bum. So I've witnessed that firsthand. To myself and other people, and all that entails with some of the mentally ill fucking windy licking arseholes who have access to the internet. So I'm sitting there saying to myself, right, look, I would accept something getting done to curtail people's ability to do that. Is that, I mean, am I against freedom of speech or am I anti-free or anything like that? No, it's like, has that behaviour been allowed to go unchecked? So people, and I can't be the only one. In fact, I know I'm not the only one. A lot of people have been victims to fucking windy licking arseholes like that online, who can make people's lives fucking a living hell when they're going like that themselves. How can this happen? How can this happen? How can this be allowed to happen? Calling for something to happen. And then, I don't know, I seem to be saying this fucking far too much. David Icke! Problem, reaction, solution. Does he still say that? Well, he fucking should, because he fucking, that dude's fucking happening. And he's the problem. And the reaction. Yeah, and the solution is the BMP, Christian fanatics. Woohoo! Anyway, I digress. I ramble. Luton Lion, what do you think of the Canadian Parliament giving a standing ovation to the Waffen SS Nazi? Do elaborate, Luton Lion. Because everybody's a Nazi nowadays, so is it a Nazi? Is it Is it just Or is he Or is he So is he a Nazi? Or is he a Nazi? Or a Nazi? Yeah. Is he Is he I swear to God, man, I'm fucking entertaining myself. Somebody else must fucking find it a wee bit funny. The doc was a whole lot of nothing and he was cancelled overnight. Oh, shit. Scary as fuck. The doc. That doc was a whole lot of nothing and it was cancelled overnight. Cancel all electronic communications. It's no a podcast, mate. You've got no guests. I've got the Larry the Lion. And I'm pretty sure there's solo podcasts. And I do have a Skype thing down below. It's the only way technically I know how to do that shit. So, exploration. If you want to be a guest, be my guest. If you want to ask Larry the Lion anything. So, with that sort of our old versus new principle getting played out in different contexts. You know, this gets played out in the animal kingdom, it gets played out in the human kingdom. I mean, how many dudes out there have grew up with that kind of, you hit an age and then you start butting heads with your dad, you know better kind of dynamic. It's very, 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 very common, isn't it? And it's not by accident, and it's very common in the human world as well. The animal world as well. I think people might think this is just a throwaway funny comment, but I genuinely mean it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have watched these kind of wildlife programmes and found it fascinating, like myself, when you watch the ones where particularly the chimps and stuff, but you know, the monkey programmes when they kind of focus on the society, if that makes any sense. I mean, they chimps are brutal motherfuckers, man. If they catch the wrong chimp in the wrong area and they go hunting and shit, man, they tear the fucking chimp apart, man. Like, literally tear it limb for limb. They're brutal fucks, man. They were fucking hunting packs. But even that's got a hierarchical society, and at some point the young buck will overtake the old silverback. Did you get silverbacks and chimps, or is it only gorillas? Where's David Attenborough when you need him? I remind you that Russia was an ally during World War II. Spot on, my man. Russia's been an ally to Christendom many, 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 many occasions throughout history. It was the Ruskies that stopped the Mongolian invasion of Europe. If it wasn't for the Russians, we could all be little mini Genghis Khans floating about. And I don't know if you know this, but genetically speaking, the Ruskies are of Viking descent. They are the Rus Vikings. If you just... Vikings were famous for going raiding. They loved a good going up river, didn't they? One of the reasons the Vikings were so successful in their longboats, I think they were called, weren't it? Their longboats. Is their longboats now... I'm going to fake this up, but you'll get the general gist. Is it the hull or something it's called? I'm probably getting this wrong, right? But the long and the short of it, that the boats and the way they were designed could go both in over seas as well as up rivers. And the reason it could go up rivers is because the bottom of the boat didn't go down that far. That makes sense. Whereas before their kind of boat technology and the shape of the hull, I think that's what you call it, deep seafaring boats typically couldn't go that far up rivers because the rivers were a lot shallower. And the Vikings longboats could go a lot further upriver. Anyway, won't bore you with that shit. Right, many Canadians died fighting Nazis. Elaborate enough for you. What's this got to do with Canada though, mate? Right, hold on, I've picked this up wrong. Right, what do you think of the Canadian Parliament giving a standing ovation to a laughing SS Nazi? Was it a genuine Nazi, mate? Like, this is what I'm confused. And if it was a genuine Nazi, why the fuck are they giving him a standing ovation? I'll need to catch up on that, mate. I'm not up to speed in what's happening in the Canadians. I've stopped watching Rebel News. Anyway. So, the old versus young. Now, I was talking about the old buck. The young buck taking over from the silverback and stuff. Now, that dynamic also exists in attitudes, naturally so. I mean, if we all just use ourselves as an example, and our parents or parental figures when we were growing up, they had particular attitudes. 99 times out of 100, the young generation have slightly different attitudes, so on and so forth. A natural evolution happens. So with attitudes, they change over time. But for some reason right now, people seem to be so unwilling to accept attitudes of a bygone era and seem to want to wipe them from memory and not allow them to exist. Look what a lot of the younger generation wanted to do to historic figures because of their ties to slave trades and stuff. Now, if you were a well-to-do person in colonial Europe way back when, you would be doing extremely well if you didn't have any links in some form to the slave trade, even if it was just having slaves. I know that makes people wet their knickers. Modern day young people wet their knickers over this shit, right? They want to forget that fucking human beings had slaves openly, and now I don't think slavery was abolished. I think it was expanded, but that's just me. I think the chains have become invisible. But that's just one example. Another example is how the race card, racism, the concept of race, the perception of race it's getting used, unbelievably so, to keep the poor turned on the poor. And it's keeping us all in our place, all arguing over absolute irrelevant bullshit. Now, I dare say that will probably be making some people's arseholes twitch. You know, like people who may have, in their perception, experienced racism and stuff. Going like, how can you disregard that and all that? Because if we want to move forward, we need to stop obsessing about the things that separate us. I think it's like understand that it existed like that. Try not understand why it existed, and move on, John. Rather than obsess about fucking shit, about attitudes of a bygone era which no longer exist, which for somehow some people are considered guilty by association. It's mental. And I mean, like, just imagine bringing Spock down and explaining this shit. His fucking ears would fucking pop off. His fucking brain would explode. This is not logical, Captain. Oh, the stupid ass arguments which are getting made, man. Anyway, so that's 10 people voted in the poll. 80% thinks there is an old versus new media war going on here. It's undeniable that the landscape of the media is changing. Everything's moving online and streaming. I mean, people will sit there. People will sit and slag off the television and then sit and binge watch Netflix and whatnot. But it's alright, it's Netflix, it's not the TV, TV lies to you, but the internet doesn't. So the landscape is completely changing. The old media is trying to keep some sort of a ability to control, sway the public narrative, the narrative for the public. And I believe what's happened to Alex Jones, Russell Brand, etc., is the old media making the most of circumstances which arise, and going after the new media. I mean, like, I know people think it's the topics that Russell Brand was touching on, right? But just for 1 second, if you consider that isn't why there's now a campaign to publicly crucify this guy, why is it? Who done it? Well, it was Dispatches, wasn't it? And the Independent, the Guardian. Who the fuck was it? Right. So the point I'm making is it was old school media that went after Russell Brand. Did they go after him because he was part of the new internet dynamic? Because as I've explained, and I'll explain again, it can't be because of what he was saying, because he's getting publicly crucified and everybody's hearing what he was talking about. Anywho, let me see if I can find out why Canada is saluting Nazis. Canada, Nazi row puts spotlight on Ukraine's World War II past. Oh, interesting. Right. So, I hadn't heard anything about this 2 days ago. Poland may want Canada to extradite Ukrainian Nazi veteran. Alright, so... what? So Trudeau apologises after Nazi veteran praised. Oh, wow. Mate, I'd missed this. Absolutely missed this. Hilarious. You just can't get more bizarro than this, can you know? It really is just a fucking hilarious, man. So Canada Nazi row put spotlight on Ukraine's World War II past. When Canada's parliament praised a Ukrainian war veteran who fought with Nazi Germany, a renewed spotlight was put on a controversial part of Ukraine's history. What do you mean history? There's that fucking Nazi battalion that's getting used down in the port city of Mariupol, I want to say. I might have got that wrong. And they used that outfit because they were there, they were organised, and they were against Russia. Hunka, the Ukrainian veteran who was applauded in Parliament this week, served with a Nazi unit called the 14th Waffen Grenadier Division of the SS, also known as the Galactica Division, that was formed in 1943. His appearance was criticised by Jewish groups and other parliamentarians alike. MP Rota, who invited him, has since resigned as the Speaker of the House of Commons, saying he deeply regretted the mistake. Oh man, are Nazis back in fashion? It goes to show how it goes to show how the story, the good guys, the bad guys, who fought for who, my enemy's enemy is my friend, all this sort of a 9 yards. It goes to show you how complicated things genuinely are when it comes to the international geopolitics and whatnot. I know we stay in a PR created world, but if you can take your mind out that and try and be objective and honest about how the world really works, for example, as I said, it's that there is no secret about your enemy's enemy is your friend. So during times of conflict, you can make this most strangest alliances. Even with the proviso in the back of your mind or on the things to do sheet, further down, right, okay, ally with them, kill this dude, then come back later and kill their ally. You know, it's that cutthroat. It's that, this is what I believe. It's not the kind of the version of war we get on the BBC and mainstream media. It's not as simple and as cut and dry as that. For example, all the jihadis in Afghanistan, they were our friends when fucking we were fighting the Ruskies in Afghanistan. We were stopping the Soviet Union pushing its borders and influenced it down south through Afghanistan. So that's when the Western powers started all their relationships, or maybe not started because it had been there for a long time, but that's when a lot of the warlords stroke drug lords came entangled with Western intelligence outfits, which later led to a lot of the grey areas and craziness in and around 9/11 and so on and so forth. I mean, it's a murky swamp. And I think that's just a reality, and people trying to simplify it, good guys, bad guys, black versus white. You know, it's like, I'm pretty sure a lot of these outfits, alliances, warlords, so on and so forth, can turn at the drop of a hat, the opening of a suitcase. Anyway, sorry, so let's get on with this stuff. He regretted the mistake. But this is not the first time the Ukraine's role in World War II has sparked a debate in Canada, which is home to the largest Ukrainian diaspora outside of Europe. So they're not immigrants, they're not refugees, they're not white people in boats. When British people go abroad, they're expats. You know, we're not immigrants, we're not migrants, we're expats, motherfucker. So when Ukraine's motherfucking refugees and all that go elsewhere, they're not refugees, right? It's a Ukrainian diaspora. Of course I know what that means. I'm just going to keep it a secret. Several moments dedicated to Ukrainian World War II veterans who served in the Galactica division exist across the country. Jewish groups have long denounced these dedications, arguing soldiers in that division swore allegiance to Adolf Hitler and were either complicit in Nazi Germany's crimes or had committed crimes themselves. But for some Ukrainians, these veterans are viewed as freedom fighters who only fought alongside the Nazis to resist the Soviets in their quest for an independent Ukraine. Enemy is my friend. The division was part of the Waffen-SS, a Nazi military unit that on the whole was found to have been involved in numerous atrocities, including the massacring of Jewish civilians. During the war, more than 1 million Jews in Ukraine were killed, mostly between 41 and 42, most of them shot to death near their homes by Nazi Germans and their collaborators. The division has been accused of committing war crimes, but its members have never been found guilty in a court of law. Jewish groups have condemned Canadian monuments to Ukrainian veterans who fought in the Waffen-SS, saying they are glorification and celebration of those who actively participated in Holocaust crimes. So you could even say this is a bit of deflection in the sense that what about the active unit down in Mariupol, I believe, Mariupol, something like that. What about that division? Whose badge is eerily familiar to the fucking SS badge itself. And all the fucking Nazi shit they're doing. But hey ho, Nazis, the Ukrainian Nazis good, because they fight Russia. In a private Ukraine cemetery, one such monument in a cemetery features the insignia of the division. Another was put up by Ukrainian World War II veterans in Alberta. Oh, right, hold on. So this is interesting. What is the insignia of the... Is it going to be like pure SS shit? Oh, fuck. Larry the Lion! Nothing to see here. Oh, that's funny. I don't know why I find that so funny. I was expecting like SS and swastikas and shit. Instead of getting fucking lying rampant. Which, by the way, here we go. Right, so that's one of the insignia for an SS division. Fuck, that's no. I don't know why I find this fucking hilarious. I don't know why I find it funny. I know people will say there's nothing in this and there's nothing to be seen here and stuff. Hey, hold on, because it's not the Jewish flag, it's not the flag of Israel, it's the flag of Jerusalem. It's there. Right, there it is there, right? So, Robert the Bruce's lying rampant. There's a wee bit of lions as well. I'm trying to figure out where my point is. There's a Seal of Solomon, Fair Lodge. Some would say it's the Star of David. Some would say it's the Seal of Solomon. You decide. And there's the insignia of a SS Nazi brigade, Ukrainian brigade. Lion rampant. Lion rampant. Lion rampant. So, make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. These things, these symbols, emblems, can mean different things to different people. The chicken and the egg, what came first? That's one of the older ones, you know, that goes back to the 11th century. And then it probably even goes back further than that. But that is the same, means the same as the one on the flag of Jerusalem. Because Robert Bruce well, he wanted his, after his death, he wanted his heart buried in Jerusalem, the Holy Land. It didn't make it, but that's where he sent his, that's where his pals tried to take his heart. But apparently he didn't make it. Anyway, I get lost in all this stuff quite easily, but as I said, make of that what you will. Folks, Canadians per head of population paid a heavy price fighting Nazis. During the D-Day landing, Canadian Parliament just insulted their memory. Well, Trudeau's quite good at that. Looking lion, is he not? But again, he's on the left of politics, so a lot of the media online, whose pendulum sways more to the right of the political paradigm, quite happy to point and laugh at. And I mean, why not? But like, you can point and laugh at all sides. That's my thing, me. It's my opinion. Anywho, that's been just over an hour on a Friday night. So if you do enjoy these wee streams and whatnot, stick a wee thumbs up. Remember, tune in tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'll try and do a wee live stream from the demo tomorrow with the speakers and stuff. Might even dust down my gimbal and actually get decent footage. I need to get a decent mic, but it should be alright. Get stuck into the poll. Let me know if you think a lot of this cancel culture stuff, a lot of the people that are getting cancelled, it's just happening. It's predominantly happening to people from a new emerging media, the old media, the old established media is quite happy to go after the new kids in town to try and maintain their power. So Great Britain News, they're in the crosshairs. Anybody fucks up on there, that will get heavily publicised. And let's be honest, the standard of their presenters is a very big bit dodgy, so you're going to get a hell of a lot of fuck-ups. But I just think they should just call it the Eamon Holmes channel and put Eamon Holmes on 24/7. He is like the best presenter ever, man. He's just so funny. So remember, stick a wee thumbs up. It helps the algos, makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and it means I only need 20 strokes instead of 40 to get to sleep tonight. True that. So there's the pole shifting. People don't think the cancel culture is old versus new media. So does that mean it's the Illuminati trying to publicly take out people who are talking about things they shouldn't? Oh my god, the moon has been looking wicked the last couple of nights. Sorry. Ouch into the moon. But I mean, it just makes no sense. It makes no logical sense. If you're there and you're scared Russell Brand. Now, Russell Brand was getting investigated before the pandemic and any vaccination had been rolled out. So him getting investigated for sex pestery had nothing to do with vaccinations. Him pointing and laughing at Joe Biden being literally a corpse walking is nothing new, and it's getting said on what he would call the legacy media or the fucking mainstream media or whatever. So his arguments are fucking bull crap, and nobody has the imagination, the will, the want. I say nobody. Very few people are willing to actually explore other avenues. What else is going on here? What else could possibly be going on? Just spoon-fed narrative, just like... Yep, it's because he said that there was lasers in the sky. It's because he said Biden was an old cunt. And it's because he talked out about vaccinations. Well, he said sex pestery dispatches and whatever newspaper it was, Independent, I think, were investigating before lockdown, before COVID, and before the vaccinations for COVID, when this guy was fucking wearing Jesus sandals and shit. And just like when you present flat earth tards with like blatantly obvious logical fucking fallacies, illogical fallacies that the illogical fallacies that they've came up with. When you present that to people who blindly follow Russell Brand because of the things he says, they just ignore it. Blindly ignore it. It's because he was speaking out against the fucking mainstream media, against Biden and against vaccinations. Well, this thing happened 4 fucking long years ago. Trump was still in power. Trump was in power when fucking Russell Brand started getting investigated. COVID hadn't started. There had been no vaccination. So what the fuck did Channel 4 and Dispatches start investigating Russell Brand? Old versus new media war? Possibility. Russell Brand shagging some rich, powerful person's missus that he shouldn't have? Possibility. People going after him because of the vaccination? Impossible. Unfucking possible. People going after him because he's anti-Biden stance? Impossible. Impossible. Biden wasn't president. I don't even know if he'd announced that he was going to be running at that point. I mean, you could go investigate this timeline. It's impossible. So when you, and again, if you present that to people, just ignore it. And start gibbering on some shite I've heard in some fucking lunatic's YouTube video spouting on about the Illuminati going after Russell Brand. This is what they do. So, wasn't it that long ago? I love this story, man. Sitting in a boozer. Stick a thumbs up, everybody. Sitting in a boozer with somebody who had either just gotten 8 or was still ball deep in the legalese side of things. Now, this guy had a court case, and I can't remember what he had to go to court for, right? Some bull crap, some fucking bull crap, right? Absolute bullcrap. Something that you would turn up at court, and the worst thing that could possibly ever happen to you is you would get a fine. If no, just admonished and sent on your way, right? But this guy was bog deep in the legalese kind of shit and all that. And he proceeded to tell me how he didn't turn up for his court case and stuff. And I didn't go, it's just an invitation. You don't need to go, it's just an invitation. You don't. And I was like, that's very, very, very true. Now, what this guy didn't know is I'd been where his head was at. I'd lived that. I'd also not took the court up on their invitation. Without realising the full consequences of that. And the reality, not the internet reality which people live and ignore the genuine reality, calling that the Matrix. You know, like people who go and talk to people in the real world and base their judgments on what they observe in the real world and not what people tell you is happening through a fucking window. Windy licking bastards through a computer screen. And it's so up and down. Do you know what I mean? Like if you judge the world on what the internet tells you, and you're ball deep in the conspiratard world, you'll think there's fucking trannies. There's a tranny invasion happening or something, man. You can't go into your toilet without some chick with a dick whipping their dick out or some shit, you know? It's just not the reality. But everybody's too scared to actually go out in the real world and actually participate in it without fucking going out tilled up and all sorts of craziness. And yet they'll sit there and let their version or their form of reality get created by fucking fear-mongering parroters online. Anyway, I digress. FTW all day, not really off base sometimes. It's just people getting caught kip. Oh shit, mate, sorry I've took that out of context. Sometimes it's just people getting caught. I'm trying to think what the fuck I was rambling about. Update me, mate. I'll listen to. I'll keep an eye on the chat so I can get a better idea of the context of that. Man, sometimes I just brain fart out my nut. What can I say? Right, let's see, is this tickety talk going to be safe? Oh shit. Hold on, I need to make sure it's safe. Oh fucking hell, man, what the fuck is that? Right, I just read some of the comments, so I think this is actually a joke thingy. God almighty. What the fuck am I watching, man? Right, I don't even know. Alan, what the fuck, man? I told you to finish it with her. Oh no, man. Fucking fuck. No, I think the people involved will get the... Oh man, that has actually made me feel a wee bit queasy in my stomach, man. Oh. Oh, pure distracted and a half. Right, so if there is anybody new that's not participated in the poll, it's the what's the cancel culture? Is this happening because there's like a war on freedom of speech, or is it the old media going after the new media? Is it the same thing, or is it just competing entities competing? It's like I'm even nervous to say this because it might be perceived that I'm somehow, some way sticking up for the BBC. I'm not. What I am saying is I'm objective enough to understand that the BBC's competitors are happy to jump on anything and everything they can to make the BBC look worse, bad, shit. Right? They've got a dog in the fight because that's one of their competitors, and you could argue the BBC, when it comes to competing with commercial outfits, it's an unfair playing field. In the sense the BBC doesn't need to worry about the commercial aspect. They have that funding guaranteed, and the commercial outfits constantly have the commercial side of things to worry about. Thus, the BBC's competitors are quite happy to stick the boot in. That's probably the best way I can see it. And again, I'm not saying this to stick up for the BBC in any way, shape or form. I'm just being objective and trying to understand the landscape, the game board, the playing field, whatever you want to call it, that everybody's commenting on, or the game board that is swaying people's opinions, political pendulum, one way or the other. So, Henry, my man, how you doing? Henry, well, I'm not sure what questions you're on about, but I mean, I do try my best, probably fail quite a lot, but I do try my best to not position myself as like I'm some sort of a like expert and I know the truth, because I watched one more YouTube video than the other guy, you know what I mean? I would just like to think, generally trying to pursue of being objective and asking objective questions about all sides, man. And it's just like it's a mindset that I've installed on myself for the very early days of See Through the Fear Porn. Just the principle of that. Like, try to not jump to, oh my god, it's fucking fake fucking snow, man. God knows what's happening. Look, I'm putting a fucking lighter behind, there's a fucking dirty gas in it and it's making black shit on the snow. The snow is obviously fake. Another thing you learn as well for like doing a lot of YouTubing and whatnot is shut the fuck up until you actually have found out for all sides what's going on one way or the other. Don't just blindly believe other people. Aye, it's a good way until you've confirmed something to a satisfactory level for yourself. Don't go and fucking parrot that shit. Or if you're talking about something, be honest and go, here, I don't know a fucking thing about this. You know what I mean? It's like, when you go, well, I'll give you an example, right? And I use this as a throwaway thing all the time, because it's a really good, well, it's a really good example. The chemtrail thing, right? Or atheists. If you say to an atheist, by the way, you're more religious than a lot of religious people I know. A lot of atheists will have a meltdown and go, I'm not have a fucking meltdown trying to prove how they're an atheist and they don't believe in God. And you're like, okay, you don't believe in God, but you seem fucking hella religious in your beliefs. Right? They're no more an expert in fucking God, if he exists, doesn't, than anybody else. Chemtrails. Right, man. Like, if you present to somebody who religiously believes in chemtrails like that, you're like, there's a load of shite, and here's the scientific principles behind it, they'll have a fucking meltdown, and they have no qualifications. They understand the shit just as much or as little as myself or yourself, but yet they'll rhyme and repeat some other fucking talking head off at YouTube or social media who's presented himself as some fucking form of expert, which they're not. Most of the time, they're fucking just idiots rhyming and repeating other people's pish with no understanding, a genuine understanding of the shit they're talking about. So you get people presenting themselves as experts on a fucking host and variety of things. Experts! Sitting there putting themselves on pedestals telling you 5G's a fucking space alien fucking weapon, I fucking get you. A fucking Max Egan prick, man, scaring God knows how many millions of people about 5G, putting people in funny farms. Fact. Prick. And that fucking old junkie bastard doesn't understand 5G any more or less than a fucking homeless man in the street. But he'll present himself as an expert. You know, this guy's an expert in all this fucking technology and all that. That's why he fucking makes a pittance off of YouTube. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Anyway. It's enough about 5G space alien weapons. So make your own mind up about these things. And let's not you're trying to trigger me, Vingo. Chemtrails are real. It's a really good trick, because if you implant in somebody's head, like if you get somebody the mindset, right, the Illuminati, the world's elites are coming after us, they're going to kill us, we're obsolete and stuff like that, and then you point out the behaviour of the exhaust off of planes to the uneducated mind. It's a magic trick, you know, because like you can point at this thing, so it's real. It's real in the sense you can point at it, it's happening. Other people can see it, you can point to it, there it's there, look, it's happening, what is that? And the fact you don't understand what's happening, because you're looking for confirmation bias, the person that offers up the explanation that the deep state Illuminati is spraying us like bugs, you're like, oh right, that's what it is. Oh, but all the other experts that understand what it really is, you know, like pilots and all that, but the pilots are in on flat earth, so you can't trust a pilot. You know, like people who understand what it is and stuff, like genuinely educated people, like weather folk and all that, understand high pressures, low pressures, and high and low pressure isn't that hard to understand. I'll give you an example. High pressure in the summertime, typically blue skies with no cloud, because it's the pressure's high, it's under high pressure, which means that there's like the water vapour and shit doesn't form as easily. Low pressure, cloudy. Ooh, that means that all the water vapour and all that can fucking condense quite easy. That's why you get a lot more clouds during low pressure. I believe it's that way, not the other way around. I believe so. Don't quote me on this, I'm no weatherman. Right, but this is the best way I can explain it. So, the shit that comes out exhaust pipes of planes has water vapour in it, doesn't it? Clouds are nothing more than water vapour. So, when you've got high and low pressure, like clouds act differently to high and low pressure. So does the shit coming out of aeroplanes. Because I remember this was quite recently. I came across a video and it was this was quite recently, and it's somebody who I would consider a good pal, man. And he was filming. I don't think it was him filming. Actually, he was just putting it out there on his Facebook. And it was an aeroplane, and it was what is perceived to be a chemtrail starting and stopping. Right now, again, if you're confirmation biased, is like, oh man, it's like fucking, we're getting sprayed like bugs and shit like that. The most obvious way to explain it in your mind is like, oh, well, it's somebody switching on a switch on and off, turning the spray on and off, you know? Whereas, in my stupid nut, I think I'm trying to understand the different pressures and how they interact differently with the clouds, which is observable. And if that is in fact what's happening to the shit coming out of planes, you can't see air pressure. It's just there. And there is different weather fronts. Is that nowhere fucking storms not comfy or shit? I'm just like pure talking shite now. Is that nowhere storms not comfy when the high pressure hits the low and it's the two different temperatures, and is that know how storms and all that happen? I'll ask Piers fucking Corbin and tomorrow. He's a weather dude, he'll be able to fill me in. Alright, Alan, my man. Alright, James, how you doing, my man? It's called stratospheric aerosol injection. What's that, Jamesy boy? The chemtrails or the? Oh god, fuck, man! I need to try and read the text more on time because I'm very easy to forget what the fuck I've been rambling on about. Scatty cunt. Where the fuck did you get that thing for you, Alan, man? Is that real? I just finished my fucking period, you don't want me off? Oh my god, man. With a sexy voice like that, who could possibly fucking pass up the opportunity? Fucking my dick shriveled up just hearing that shit. Henry, good, gold against the sold as a music album. Soul, sorry, alright. Gold against the soul. Right. Alex Human Speaker Jones. James, chemtrails are real, right? It's just what they are. Right? Now, if you want to use the word chemtrails, I'm fucking more than happy. I've got videos on my channel. I think they're some of the earliest ones that I put on my current channel that are of me filming chemtrails, believing they are. At the time, I had the confirmation bias that they were spraying the general populace with with stuff. Although even back then, I still beg the question, right? So, like, people are standing outside Parliament witnessing chemtrails, so are they spraying the politicians as well? People are standing outside Buckingham Palace witnessing chemtrails, are they spraying the royal family as well? Right, so even back then, when I was like kinda like all in with the confirmation bias that the chemtrails are there, I can see them, I can fucking see them, I'm filming them, I'm fucking looking at them, look there, they're there. I still had questions, logical questions, which now I don't have because I dared to look at the other side. And do you know why I did dare to look at the other side? Because I used to religiously listen to a podcast called the No Agenda Show. And one of the dudes on there, the presenter, Adam Curry, he used to be an MTV presenter and stuff. So he used to be rolling in a bit of dough and stuff. I've still got money. Anywho, he's got a pilot's licence and he does a bit of flying and whatnot. So being a pilot, you do learn about high and low pressures because it affects your aeroplane, you know. So you do learn about that sort of that science. So that guy, and this guy's open as much as the next dude, fucking crazy ass conspiracies, and fucking this dude just like opened my eyes to how fear porn, false evidence appearing real, because that's exactly what chemtrails is. It's false evidence appearing real, because you can see that shit. Somebody's implanted in your head, that's them spraying you with stuff. So you can see it, so you're confirming it. There's no denying. Oh, look, I fucking did it there, look, jumping up and down, filming it, look. Right, and then, like, if you do open your mind to the other explanation, not only the science can logically make sense in your head, it answers, or a lot of the unanswered questions just evaporate. Why are they spraying over Buckingham Palace in Balmoral when the Queen's there? Oh, well, she's dead now. Maybe it was the chemtrails got her in the end. Fuck's sake, maybe they're right. Aye, Alan, I'm trying to trigger you, man. Experts as Greta Thunberg. There are no female environmental experts on all Europe as a continent, only Greta. Man, that wee Thunberg king was a form of fucking child abuse, wasn't it? Aye, Alan. That's the fucking shit. Where was I? Chemtrails thing, and then Crow Magnon keeps clips, and then I don't know. Is that today with the Seal of Solomon? I can't even point. It's called stratospheric aerosol injection. My Jesus and toast. Was that Rab? Fucking chemtrails. Yeah, fucking Jesus and toast. It fucking exists, right? Some people fucking look at that fucking toast and they fucking see Jesus, man, and there's just no doubt about it. Oh fuck. I don't know if I want to share this with the class. Fuck it, I will, right? This wasn't that long ago. People up this side of the border will be familiar with Rabsy Nisbet, maybe elsewhere as well, right? And there was some points where they would make a wee joke and all that about him seeing pink elephants when he was coming off the booze. Now, it was all funny and all that, right? But the long and the short of it, man, if you're maybe a big bit more stupider on the booze than you should be, and you come off it cold turkey and shit, man, you do get to a stage where you're fucking tripping balls, man. And I mean tripping balls, and I mean like tripping balls fucking to the extent where like there's no fucking I've took mushies, DMT, LSD, and CP3O or something, some fucking chemical. I've took a good few different hallucinogens over my fucking time, right? And I've never been tripping balls like this before, where fucking I was seeing shit that wasn't there, man, and it was just, it was a fucking Jesus and toast. I was seeing fucking people in my wardrobe and all that, man. It was mental. Right? So it can happen. Tangent. It can happen for a variety of different reasons. That's your fault, Rab, talking about the old Jesus and toast, man. Yeah, the chemtrails. I seen that video, Alan. What one? Shit, man. With Hunters a daft cut. Oh, shit. It's disgusting. Hold on, I've missed this. It was on TikTok. Oh, right, your thought it just popped up. I thought if it's two gay men having a bitch till I heard she had just finished her period. Mate, that TikTok can offer you up fucking craziness, can it, man? I'm using TikTok, right, because I'm sticking shit up. But see, when I get fucking dragged into that fucking crack, social media, crack cocaine, or the shorts, I need to stop myself, man. You go for one, so you're crying over fucking people giving away shit to homeless people. And then next thing you know, you've got Hairy Marys like that talking about their periods and wanking cunts off. I even seen one the other day, and it was like fucking in America, and it took me a while to decipher it, and it was like giving out pounds, and we're driving by a tent city, and they're just tossing out big fucking big parcels of fucking bud, man, pounds, but I think that's a weight. Not a monetary value. Right, let's see if I can get up to speed with this chittity chat. Aye, Jamesy boy, it is disgusting. It's mental, man. The science. Cum trails. No, this is disgusting. But what? I don't know why you saying cum trails black hole makes me think of the Spider-Man. He's ever heard of the Spider-Man? You come in your hand and then you go up. That's say that out loud, man. Fuck. Feel I must be in Great Britain news here, man. The speed of science is amazing. When they say follow the science, replay. I'm not into witchcraft. Catch you later. Catch you, Jamesy boy. C3PO. Ladies, give you snort. He snorted. Look, Skywar's Android. Mate, it was oh fuck. Let me think. It was a liquid. I fucking think. It's a liquid, right? And it was some sort of a abbreviated fucking chemical compound that got you tripping out your tits, but you still felt like you were here. It's one of these new designer drug fucking weirdo fucking thingies. Black hole, all the ground level and how atmosphere chemtrails coming from vehicles, power generation and industry. All the ground level and low level atmosphere chemtrails coming from, and fires. What do you mean, mate? Like you don't understand why, if chemtrails are like the exhaust fumes up planes, why don't we have them lower down? Well, again, I'm no expert at all. Just my first stab in the dark, like searching for a logical explanation, would be just like the pressure on the ground has got to be lower than the pressure up there. A way that I've the way that an analogy I use in my head to try and better understand it is like your currents in water. If you go into a sea, for example, the top of the sea doesn't have the same undercurrents as the bottom of the sea. The bottom of the sea is a whole different ball game. You know, and is the atmosphere the same? I would say yes, because the atmosphere changes, the pressure changes, the higher and you go up. I guess it's me just stabbing in the dark. I don't know if that's what you're meaning, mate. Magic mushrooms, TNT, and C3PO. Mate, I'll need to confirm the name of that thing I fucking took, man. You take drugs nowadays, you don't even know the fucking name of them. But man, hallucinogenics don't date for me anymore, man. My head's too fucking take fucking hallucinogenics, take mushrooms, and then listen to Alex Jones, man. Whoa! In the movie, Cecil B. John Waters presented us the porn zombies, so I guess we can talk also about the fear porn zombies nowadays. We need our dossier. Reactionary, how you doing, my man? Long time no see. Kip, the answer is yes. Search the recent Canadian bill forcing tech social media companies to pay old media for any links to their articles that users click on. So, thanks for that, Reactionary. I hadn't heard that. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, one thing that rings true, one thing arguably that rings true right now globally is there's similarities with what's going on in a lot of countries politically. Just one example is like Britain has the brown people in boats, America has the Mexicans. I seen Elon Musk fucking going down to a border control and shit and propagating all that shit, getting body panel politics. So thanks for the input, Reactionary. The Spider-Man. No, mate, shouldn't have said that out loud. James, take care, my man. I mean, why worry about the sky chemtrails when there's loads down here already? Alright, I get you. Like, if the chemtrails, well, and again, like, see me not believing that they are like chemicals put in planes through spraying apparatus to spray the general populace. It doesn't mean that I think that shit's fucking good for us. You know, like, I'm going to this anti-Les or ULEZ thing tomorrow, and I'm against the government dressing bullshit up just as another way to tax people, right? It's a clandestine tax, but I'm all for fucking trying to get petrol fucking motors away from the public. It's just a matter of how you do that. I would say, well, hopefully by choice instead of forcing people, because the way they've rolled out this ULEZ and stuff, it's punishing the poor. It's not saying you can't pollute. It's saying you can pollute as long as you pay. You could argue that it discourages people doing that, but not people with money who can afford it. Only the poor. So it's punishing the poor. Nah, it's just the way I see it. Depending where you are on that wage bracket, because it's a fixed amount, isn't it? I do believe. I don't even know how much it is, right? But I'm pulling this out of my arse. Let's say it's a £5. If you want to take a car that doesn't meet X, Y, and Z into the zone each day, let's say it's £5. Now, if somebody is in the 30 grand to 40 grand a year bracket, at £5, it's little to nothing. They hardly notice it. Whereas somebody closer to 12, 13 grand a year, a hell of a lot of money for them. And then you take into the fact that all the other economic pressures that will be on the person from the lower bracket that isn't on the person from the higher wage bracket, and it's creating a larger gap, us and them, the haves and have-nots. And surely if we all agree we want a government to manage our country and manage the institutions and the things that we agree upon as a society that we want in place, it's got to be representative of everybody, the poor and the fucking rich. That is not what I'm witnessing. That ain't what the ULEZ and stuff is. And the shite, the bullshit argument that they're using to push this shit through is a pile of shite. Saving the planet. People with respiratory diseases, it's going to save them and stuff. By all standards, the air quality in the street, it's not perfect, but it's never been night, my man, night, Alan. So like the ULEZ thing, and moving forward, I'm all for getting rid of petrol motors away from people's mouths. That's a sensible thing moving forward, but to force it upon people and to punish the poor in the process, to speed this up, anywho, I'll be popping along tomorrow to hear some of the wee chitty chats and stuff. Will be very interesting. So I think I've even, if you go to my channel, you'll probably get the link for the live stream there, where you can stick a wee reminder and stuff, and you'll get it when I go live. We could completely clean the air, then Yellowstone erupts. Well, if you put, and I know this is an argument for people. Right, sorry, I was going to repeat one of the main talking point arguments in this, in the sense that Great Britain, if you take our admissions and compare it to India, America, China, so on and so forth, all the larger countries in the world, Russia maybe come into that bracket. We're a ball here of the world's emissions. So to go so fast, so hard, so deep, so quickly, which is damaging the economy. There seems to be an unfair balance. Or there doesn't seem to be a balance there. But I want to try and explore. Again, this is just a question, but it's a really good question to ask people who are all in on the Greta Thunbergs of this world that are so ball deep and that they genuinely think the world is on fire and it is going to the world is going to implode tomorrow. Now, people who are so religious in that belief and so ball deep and so all in, they either do believe or need other people to believe that there are individuals out there who are suicidal, who want the world to end, who are having kids just to kill them or allow them to be killed. Does that make any sense? If, because they they can't consider for a iota of a second the opposite side of the argument has any weight whatsoever. Just going to pure religious fucking diatribes, and again, no expert, not a qualification, fucking insight, rhyming and repeating hundreds of shit I've heard off of other people who may be rhyming and repeating other shit that they've heard off of other people who purport to be experts. But again, they can have a PhD in fucking social media and then bounce up there and go, I'm a doctor, and tell you fucking about climate change when they fucking have no more a clue about the weather than you do. Anywho, Alan, enjoy your Scooby-Doo, my man. I'm going to do the off and chill out for a wee bit and then watch a wee bit more of Ghost Book 4. So thanks for joining, everybody. Hopefully you have enjoyed this wee live stream. So stick a wee thumbs up. Check out the channel and the link for the stream tomorrow, and you can check that out if you want to watch it live. And if anybody does watch it live, let me know the feedback. If it would be better for me to record it and upload it later, or whether the live quality is sufficient enough. So again, thanks everybody that has watched. Stick a wee thumbs up. It does make me sleep easy, makes me feel warm and gooey inside, and it helps the algos. So everybody must now drive an old school Mini. Nah, Black Hole, it's the fucking Fred Flintstone fucking car they want everybody in, man. 1 manpower, 2 foot power. Those are exempt, as are Mercedes-Benz W123 with 3-litre diesel engines. 40-year-old bangers too, makes no sense. Black Hole, I've not heard those details, man. What is the reasoning behind that kind of thing? Because it does make no sense, buddy. It does make no sense. Apart from maybe the person that fucking wrote the rules has a fucking old school Mini and a Merc W123. Is there some sort of rhyme or reason? 17 votes on the poll. Thank you everybody for participating. So 3/4 people believe that a lot of this cancel culture it's a what's the word I'm looking for, man? Kids, don't do drugs. It's a consequence of the old media trying to keep the new forms of media in its box. Probably the MPs want to drive classics. You know, we're joking about it, mate, but it fucking would not surprise me. Wouldn't it be the first time that there's been fucking like little small prints and exemptions put in at the behest of folk? So, thanks for that info, buddy. And hopefully you did enjoy that wee live stream and whatnot. So make sure you sub and bell up, and you will get future live streams. As I said, I'll be doing one tomorrow. The flyer says 2 o'clock. I'll be starting the stream a wee 10 to 5-2. Let's see if it starts on time. Anybody in and around the Glasgow area, why not come and join? There'll be lots of well-meaning folk there. I'm sure it'll be good experience. And the Rangers game kicks off at 3 o'clock. But I don't know if it'll be on any of the boozers. think I might need to come home and find a live stream online. So good night, y'all. Hopefully, you have enjoyed that. And I'm going to go and chill out for a wee bit. Mazda RX-8 with that wank. Oh shit! I need to sort this fucking box out. I know it doesn't make sense to anybody, but with a Wanko rotary engine. I thought it had something to do with a wanker rotary engine. Shit. Anyway, good night, everybody. You enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. And hopefully Cro-Magnon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or wrong or what have you. Stay tuned for the live streams and tune in tomorrow, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. See Piers Corbyn, the ex-councillor, who spoke out against the lockdown, and one of the dudes that runs the Homeless Project Scotland. So it should be interesting speakers. Alrighty, booby tubies. Thanks for listening, and I shall catch yous on the other side. Clips. And remember, citizens, always subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. And $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of